And remember, 1764. Orange County in Virginia was still the frontier. House is going to be very plain and simple. And the original home started at the downspout that you see over there at the end of the building. That small yellow door over there was their entry door. Above it in the brick, perhaps you see the porch overhang where that was located, the shadow pattern of that porch overhang. And the original home extended just to the right of this door. You see the change in the brick pattern going all the way up and down right there. That was the original home. Unmodified and unchanged for over 30 years. During that 30-year time period, oldest son, James Jr., goes away to college. When he returns, he serves in the Orange County government, state of Virginia government, our national government. And he is going to talk with many of the founding fathers of our country, like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Patrick Henry, James John Adams. And we're going to find James in 1794 in the city of Philadelphia, serving in our House of Representatives. And he's going to notice a relatively young, very, very, very attractive Quaker widow lady. You all know her name, that was Dolly. And he arranges for an introduction, brief courtship, they're married later that same year. They stay in Philadelphia for 3 years, completing his terms in the House. They come here to retire in 1797 and encounter mother and father Madison still living here. And of course they want their own private living space. They make the first change to the house. They enlarge it from this end to the downspout behind you here. This small door becomes their entry door. And they add the 4 columns out in front at that point in time. And yes, they plan to retire here now, but remember, James and Dolly have a close personal friend. He lives about a day's ride by horseback to the west, and that friend is Thomas Jefferson. 4 years later, Jefferson invites Madison to be Secretary of State. He and Dolly go to Washington City 8 long years. Another 8 long years after that as our 4th president. When they begin the presidency, they realize that when they finally retire here, the house isn't going to be big enough. It needs to be enlarged one more time. Now they're going to build the temple you saw in the trees as you walked up today. They're going to put the wings on each end of the house, terraces over the wings. Colonnade in the rear you'll see when you exit. And good friend Jefferson designs the entryway you saw there in the center of the house. And that takes you through the evolution then of the house. This afternoon I thought you might enjoy coming to visit Mother and Father Madison in 1764. You like to do that?